All right, I think we should just get started. First, how are you today? And do you want to talk more about, sort of introduce your project and tell us some interesting things?
Yeah, okay, let's start. So, hello everyone. Glad I'm here. So, my name is Aristocrat. I'm one of the founders of the Kromatika project, and I'm in the next few minutes. I'm gonna try to explain the project. There are a lot of things to explain, but I'll try to narrow down to explain it from a little bit non-technical perspective, how it works and why it's a good project and we believe in it. And also, I'm gonna try to dig deep into the some kind of interesting details on the technical side of it. Uh, so, what is Kromatika in general? Well, Kromatika, we aim to be a one-stop DEX aggregator. What that means is that we want to support uh, different features that are related to a decentralized exchanges, and that different features are let's say, commonly found into other exchanges and other aggregators. So I'm going to go to the point why we are better than them. Usually, every DEX has a few different features. It has a swap, it has more or less, some of them have a limit orders feature. And Kromatika has both of them. And we started, the Kromatika DEX started with a very innovative limit order feature. And this is our first starting point and first selling point of the project. And this was a very innovative limit order features because limit orders in general, so like a concept, is very easily found and can be found on a centralized exchange, right? We all more or less have used a centralized exchange, and it's very easy to place like a limit order there. Like they have an order book, so you place sell limit order, you place buy limit order, and that's it. Like the order is filled, and you get the money, right? But when it comes to the decentralized exchanges, when it comes to do some on-chain limit orders, it it's get trickier, and there are a lot of projects trying to get the limit order rights right on decentralized exchange, and we believe Kromatika did it right on decentralized exchange, in a sense that uh, we started by trying to implement limit order in a different way. Usually, most of the projects, what are doing, like they just like user placed limit order, and the protocol waits for the price to get reached for that limit order, and then the protocol executes the limit order by doing swap, right, at the time of the when the price has been reached. So that's a very simple case that all protocols implementing limit orders on decentralized exchanges are doing. However, the problem with that is that it's still a swap, right? But it's just a delay swap, just waiting for a price to reach a certain target, and then the protocol just does swap. What that means is that those limit orders are sustainable to swap fees, to front running bots and so on, because they're regular swaps. So it has all the burdens of swap on a DEX. And where Kromatika comes into play? Well, that's the kind of innovative thing. Instead of doing swap, we implement limit orders by using liquidity. So how it works is that when users are placing limit orders on Kromatika, they are not doing swap, they're liquidity providers. So the system kind of works as an order book, uh, as you find on a Texas, but applied on DEX. And this is the innovative point here, that limit orders we are implementing by using liquidity. And in order to do that, we are utilizing, especially we are utilizing Uniswap liquidity. And because as you already know, like Uniswap had version 2, version 3, and particularly on Arbitrum, version 3 was deployed, which is the latest version. And the latest version kind of has a very cool feature called concentrated liquidity. And this is exactly what Kromatika is using for implementing its limit orders.
I heard that with the Uniswap, there is currently, the limit order technology, or I'm not sure what to call it, but I hear that you need to be claiming when that swap happens. Is that true? And that's something that Kromatika doesn't have?
Yes, Uniswap out of the box, like the latest version, it's not a pure limit order. It's something that they call a range order. What that means is that user needs to do that manually. So they need to add liquidity, they need to remove liquidity at certain points. So there is a little bit like a burden of management of that the user needs to do by using those so-called range order features on Uniswap. And actually what Kromatika does, it automates that. So the user does not have to worry that there is a Uniswap underneath. The user just places limit order, specifies the target price that for that buy or sell limit order, and that's it. Once the limit order has been filled, and there is a little bit like technical background how this is filled and how Uniswap range order and concentrated liquidity worked in the background, which I don't want to go into deep, but at the end of the day, the user will get their funds into their wallet directly when the order is filled. So there is no further interaction.
Gotcha. I think there was something about like gas optimization or like the Kromatika project having a little bit better optimization with the fees. You guys charge a little bit less fees than Uniswap, is that right?
Yes, so I'm gonna go to that point. So I'm kind of discussing first the limit order feature. The limit order feature is not about the gas fees, because it's more about getting more out of their more value for the money. Because what essentially limit order is, I want to sell my Ethereum when it hits like $4,000, and I just place a limit order. The interesting thing is that it's not related to the gas fees, is that the user will get more for that one Ethereum. And that is because they're a liquidity provider. So they're going to get approximately 0.3% minimum or more for their money. So they're going to get like $4,030 for their Ethereum. So essentially, for limit orders, Kromatika, what does is it's not essentially saves on gas fee, it gives you more for your limit order. That's for this limit order feature. To answer your question, we do have a couple of other features that I'm gonna point out. And this gas fee optimization was mostly related to swap feature. Because with the swap feature that we have introduced, that I want to kind of discuss it a little bit later, we are actually charging less gas than Uniswap.
Gotcha.
So essentially, Kromatika DEX has a swap feature and a limit order feature, right? A limit order feature is a feature where we essentially give users don't just place limit orders. They don't need to worry about the time, and and what is most important, they're gonna get more than they have expected out of that limit order. So that's kind of what Kromatika is different than the other limit orders features and the other DEXs that are implementing limit order features.
Yeah, no, that sounds really good. In terms of like how you guys came to be, do you guys want to talk about, how this project came, to be?
Yeah, sure. Well, this project was born very much at the time when Uniswap launched its new version, and it came down to, okay, we have a new Uniswap version that has a very cool, interesting feature. Why don't we build a limit order on Uniswap, right? This is our initial thought. Like, Uniswap, it's a very huge DEX. It's one of the biggest, if not the biggest. It has the biggest volume, but it doesn't have limit orders. That's the pain of Uniswap. So the idea is, let's introduce limit orders on Uniswap. And this is how the project started. And it actually started as an idea on a hackathon. We participated sometime in September. We have applied on a Chainlink hackathon in September, and we got accepted there. And this is how the idea was born. And essentially, we got a reward from the hackathon sometime in November. Probably they have reviewed the idea. There was some elevator pitch that we need to make to that Chainlink hackathon, and they have accepted, and we got some reward. They call it on the rise reward. Like, probably it means like the project is on the rise and it has some good ideas. And that's how we wanted to try it. So, well, that was like a proof that the project has some merit. And that's why we went like in November. At the time of the Chainlink Hackathon event, we also went public and we said, well, look, we are publishing it live, basically. And this is how it was born. Actually, it was born
That's
on a
fantastic.
hackathon.
Yeah, no. That's a very cool way to have kickstarted the project. I guess you guys have been working on it for some time now. I'm just looking at sort of the price action on the charts. Looks like you guys gained a lot of interest in the past couple weeks.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go to that point. Like, the interest is basically it's a combination of facts. In the couple of weeks, in the last weeks, we have announced that this second feature that I'm gonna describe right now. It's a swap aggregator. Just to come to the starting point, Kromatika was just launched with one feature, which is limit order on Uniswap. But that is not enough feature for a project, right? That's like a very basic feature to start with when we launch sometime in December. And then we started building up feature on top of that. So we start building up a swap aggregator. We're gonna be starting building gasless features and so on. We deployed on many different chains, including Arbitrum. And in the last few weeks, we released our swap aggregation feature. And what that bring is it's kind of very simple swap aggregation. It tries to aggregate from very different sources, like from Uniswap, from all other major DEXs, but also from other aggregators. So from 1inch, from 0x protocol. So it's kind of, we are calling that fancy name meta DEX aggregator. So you're actually aggregating from other aggregators as well. So that's why it's kind of a very interesting term, meta DEX aggregator, that we are referring to Kromatika feature that we have just released a few weeks ago. And this is why the attention got picked up, because we just launched it on all chains. We try to be like a multi-chain project. So we are already on layer 1, and we are already on layer 2. So we are on 3 chains already, and we are going on a 4th chain during the course of this week. So we are going like a multi-chain and try to launch the project on as many chains as possible. So we're kind of expanding in a horizontal way a little bit.
No, that's great. That's ambitious, and you guys should keep it coming.
Yeah, we kind of started with that kind of ambitious project. We started with like just limit orders, and then after that, just okay, let's build on top of that another features like swap aggregation. Then let's build another things like gasless swaps. That's also coming. That's kind of very rare, I would say, especially on the layer 1, because it's not the gas fees on layer 1 on Ethereum are too high. So there is no like any way for anyone to do gasless swaps. So usually gasless swaps are done on layer 2, and we're going into that direction, that we're going to be introducing a gasless swap on Arbitrum and on other layer 2s as well.
I think that is the beauty of the L2s, right? The low transaction costs.
Yes, exactly, and that's why we have chosen like to go to layer 2, apart from layer 1, because of course layer 1 might have the biggest volume, but layer 2 has kind of the beauty that the gas cost is too low, so you're gonna get a lot value from your swaps, from your limit orders, essentially from everything you interact with the blockchain.
Yeah. Can I just jump in quickly and ask a question?
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me? Perfect, right?
Yes.
So my name is Peter, and thanks for hosting the space. So far, it's interesting. You were speaking earlier on the limit orders, and I apologize if I don't get it quite get it yet. I still don't get why you're able to provide limit orders that is cheaper than Uniswap, and I understand Uniswap V3 already has limit orders, right? Could you, if you don't mind, can you please explain again why Kromatika is an advantage of Uniswap limit orders? Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Well, interesting thing that if anyone goes to Uniswap, there are no limit orders right there, right? They're just swapped. So from a like pure user perspective, Uniswap does not have limit orders. Now, underneath, because they have just implementing a technical concept called concentrated liquidity and so on, there is a way to implement limit orders on Uniswap. It's just a matter they did not implement it, or maybe that they did not consider that they can implement limit orders on that feature that they have. So that's why Kromatika took that advantage that no one has implemented limit orders on Uniswap, and we have did it. And right now, when you place limit order on Kromatika, you're actually placing limit order on Uniswap. We are using that liquidity. We are using those assets and trading pairs. So we are connected with Uniswap to pull the liquidity from. So essentially, Kromatika is Uniswap with limit orders.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Thank you. And do you see them implementing limit orders for the masses? And if that is the case, will you think that Kromatika might find it a challenge going forward to differentiate ourselves?
Well, interesting thing is that when they released this new version of Uniswap last April, they did not consider that they can implement limit order in this way, right? Maybe this was the feature that was like a side effect of the development that they have did. And that's why they did not consider that implementing limit orders. Maybe in the next version, Uniswap version 4, that maybe they're going to release it, maybe not. We don't really know. They're going to add limit orders. But that's along down the line, and they will for sure change it the way they have implemented. Right now we have the Uniswap latest version, and they haven't implemented limit order themselves. In next version, who knows? Maybe they will. Maybe they will not. Maybe that's not their way of kind of thinking. They want just to focus on swaps.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Good morning, Samuel.
I want to know what's the transaction speed like? How much does it take to execute a transaction on the Kromatik stuff?
Well, the transaction itself, it's kind of can be split into two different things, right? You place a limit order.
I mean, the transaction speed, like, does it get congested if there's a high demand, maybe a lot of people using it? Like, what's the transaction speed? Like, if I want to swap, when am I expecting the swap to go through? That's like what I'm asking.
Well, that does not depend on the Kromatika. That depends on the network itself, right? Like if you swap on Arbitrum, I think the swap is kind of instant because it takes like few seconds to confirm the swaps, right?
You like, I'm not be charged for swapping out. Like there's no gas fee. Is that it?
Let's try to kind of separate the things. On Kromatika, we have two features. We have swaps and we have limit orders. Both features are on-chain features, which means that you kind of interact and do the swap on the blockchain itself. Also with the limit orders, you do limit order on the blockchain. That means there is a gas fee that you need to pay because you're kind of doing a blockchain transaction. That gas fee is cheaper on Arbitrum, more expensive on Ethereum, for example. So if you use Arbitrum, you're going to pay on Kromatika less gas fee with the current version of the application than on Ethereum mainnet, regardless of which feature you use, swap feature or limit order feature. Now, yeah, go ahead.
What I'm asking is that I'm actually on the Kromatik.finance webpage currently, and it says that no swap fees, no front-running bulls, and no price slippage. So that's why I'm like, is the no swap fees means no gas fee? So
no,
like, I need an explanation.
No swap fees does not mean gas fees. So we need to a little bit adjust the terminology here. Gas fee is completely different than swap fee, front-running bots, and so on. Swap fee is what you pay on any DEX, right? Like if I go to Uniswap, for example, and I want to swap one Ethereum to whatever other asset, you're gonna pay 0.3% to someone else. So you're not actually swapping one Ethereum. You're gonna be swapping 0.99 something Ethereum. This is what's called swap fee. This is like a fee that the DEX itself charges to the user as a fee. So this is what's called swap fee. This is completely different than the gas fee that you pay. Gas fee you pay to the miners, where swap fee you pay to Uniswap.
All right, it's not clear. I don't understand. Okay.
Yes. So
That's
on
really cool.
Kromatika, you don't pay the swap fee part of it.
All right.
I've got a question. Just wondering regarding Kromatika, how is the project going to, I guess, where does the revenue come from?
Yes, the revenue comes from two income points, or let's say, I would say from multiple income points. The first revenue is that we are charging a fee for every limit order filling. So whenever a limit order is filled, there is what we are calling a service fee that we charge, or the protocol charges. And that service fee is charged in our protocol token, which is the krom token. So a user needs to own a krom token in order to use the limit order service. And we are charging a service fee for that. Sure.
Limit order by providing liquidity, I still find it difficult to understand. I've been trying to see, I provided liquidity, and it has to do with me doing limit order. So please, can you shed more light on that?
Yeah, sure. I'll share a very simple example, right? I want to basically place a limit order, right? I have one Ethereum, and I want to place a limit order where I want to sell that one Ethereum for what's the current price of, let's say, 3,000 stable, let's say USDC, right? So I want to sell my one Ethereum for $3,000. How you would do with Kromatika is you're gonna place a liquidity on a $3,000 price range. So it's very similar, works like on CEX, on centralized exchange. You place our order book where I want to sell one Ethereum for $3,000. Here, you're doing exactly the same. You place a liquidity of one Ethereum at $3,000 price range.
Okay, thank you.
How this is possible? Yeah, this is possible because, as I said, of a Uniswap new feature called concentrated liquidity. How it works, this concentrated liquidity, is everyone can place any liquidity at any price range. So kind of liquidity is not across the whole price curve. It can be concentrated within ranges. And one of that range is, in my example, one Ethereum. I'm going to place it at $3,000 price range. And if someone wants to buy my Ethereum, they're going to need to sell the dollars, and then the price will just go within my range, and they're going to be just buying into my Ethereum. This is how I'm going to actually receive dollars for my Ethereum.
Okay.
This is how basically it works.
All right.
It's very similar concept as order books.
All right, thank you.
Hello, good day, guys. Hello, good day, guys. I would like to ask, what's the total amount of your token that's been?
Sorry, I did not get it right. What's the total amount of tokens in circulation? Was that the question?
No, I said, what's the total amount of token bonds?
Token bonds?
Yeah.
There are no token bonds. How do you mean?
Sorry, can I ask another question, please?
I think we should give some other people a chance to speak.
I want to ask about the charges. How do you charge for maker and taker? What's the percentage rate of your charges? Because you said since we're transacting with a blockchain, there must be a rate, there must be a charge. So please, what's the rate?
That's the interesting part. There is no charge for the maker. There is no charge for the taker. The maker just places a liquidity at a given price, and the taker just takes that liquidity at that price. What it pays is that they pay the swap fee, but that swap fee goes to the maker itself. And the maker, from his side, takes the swap fee that the taker paid, plus they need to pay Krom token as a service fee. So in one way or another, the maker is in a win-win situation because they are getting the swap fee from the takers.
Okay. Aristocrats, I would like to ask, are there any future plans for creating an NFT for your projects? Because the crypto space is crazy about NFTs now, so I would like to know about that.
Yeah, I know. We are also actually into that mood. Let's say. I'm not sure if you found it somewhere, but we have a very cute mascot that we are calling Krom E, and it looks like an astronaut and a robot and so on. And that mascot was kind of designed a few months ago, and I can very much say that there will be a NFT built around that mascot. And we already have it in the pipeline. Probably within a month or two, we're going to be releasing it. However, now the interesting thing is Kromatika tends to be a DeFi project, and we want to kind of stick to the DeFi space of it. If we go too much into an NFT world, we are a little bit splitting up the concept of the project. So the idea of an NFT that we're going to be releasing is to have a utility on the DEX itself. So it's not going to be just a very nice, interesting art. It's going to have a utility as well. So combining NFTs and DeFi is the way we are going.
I guess that'd be taking some inspiration from the DeFi kingdoms or something similar.
Sorry, can you please repeat?
Oh, sorry. I said maybe that you'd be taking some inspiration from DeFi kingdoms that are on the Harmony blockchain. They're a DEX with NFTs.
Yeah. This is something that we've been looking at. As I said, it's we don't want to be like a pure NFT project or just to release an NFT for the sake of just having it because it's hot. We want to have a utility. And we've been looking into very interesting examples, and the one that you have mentioned as well.
Yeah. So, is there anything else about the project that you wanted to talk about? Maybe something about what's coming up, things like that.
Yeah. Well, what's coming up is I think I already mentioned. We are gonna be releasing free or gasless feature, which it's a bit complicated feature, and many DEXs have tried to do that. They have tried to actually find a way how users will not pay any fees, like they're doing on the DEXs. And we're gonna also try to solve that problem as well. However, that problem will be more solvable on layer 2s than on layer 1. So I can just say that all those gasless features will be coming to layer 2, including Arbitrum first.
Does that mean in order to use your swap, people would need to purchase the Krom token?
No, not for swap, just for limit orders.
Gotcha.
No.
So in terms of the Krom token, what do you think is driving up these prices to most recent highs of close to 20 cents?
Well, first, as I said, people are, when there are new features, the people are tend to kind of get excited and hyped about it. But also there was one kind of interesting topic that Krom was announced as one of the potential listings on Coinbase, and this was also one ignition that got attention on the project. Just to get to the point of the Krom token itself, Krom token got started as a utility token. Utility token means you need to pay with that token in order to get some features. And this is what we have right now. You pay for a service fee in Kroms in order to use the limit order features, but not for swaps, just for like a kind of premium features, which are the limit orders. So it's a pure utility token. And it had a very interesting token economy where we had a 100 million token minted, and it cannot, we can't have any more than that. So it's a fixed supply. It's a permissionless token. It's a very simple token, and its liquidity is locked. Basically, 80% of the liquidity is circulating, and it's already locked. So we, like the founders or no one from the team, can't remove any liquidity forever. So that's kind of the interesting token economy, and the rest 20% of the token supply, they were vested on 2, or part of it, like 20%, was vested for 2 to 3 years on Unicrypt, and I think 7% are kept in a multi-signature wallet for a budget. So that means we just launched without VC, without pre-sale. It was a pure fair launch. And right now the team has a budget around 6 to 7% of the supply, and no more than that. And yeah, interesting is that probably someone from Coinbase just saw the token, and potentially we got into the list of potential listing. And to be kind of honest, we also found out when Coinbase just posted on their blog. So no one has contacted us from the team for potential Coinbase listing. So it was doing on their own, basically.
Cool. I think we have some people that want to come up and ask some questions. I'm just gonna bring them on, and then maybe you can answer some questions if you had anything else to say before that.
Yeah, the topic that I just mentioned, that right now the token is just listed on decentralized exchanges. So we are on no other exchange, major centralized exchange. We are just on Uniswap only. And in Q2, as is on our roadmap, we are planning to be listed on a centralized exchange, and maybe that will be Coinbase.
Cool. I think MMac, you're back on as a speaker. If you have any questions, you can ask something.
Yeah. I want to ask that. Is there any possibility of using snipe bots while trading on an exchange?
Sorry, I didn't hear the last part. What's possible to use?
Like, is there any possibility of using snipe bots while trading on an exchange?
Snipe bot?
Yeah, bots.
No.
Okay, I get it.
So I didn't understand the question either. Can you repeat it one more time?
Yeah.
Oh, snipe bots. Like, is there any possibility of using snipe bots for trading on your exchange?
Well, in general, the exchange is kind of on-chain. So all the smart contract, all the code is on-chain. So if you're saying to use bots for trading,
yeah,
like anyone can use bots, like you use on Uniswap, on anything. Like there is no like a bot protection on the DEX itself, if that was the question. Because it's an on-chain code. It's a smart contract that is publicly on the chain.
Cool. I got PJKY coming on. Give it a few seconds and you can ask your question.
like a few weeks, a month ago maybe. Is there a systematic plan to buy back the Krom? And I still and also what other ways are there for Krom hold for value to be accrued to Krom token holders, not just the DEX use, but also but you know, Krom token users, assuming they're not just using that to do limit orders. Thank you.
Right. Yes. So there are basically two questions here. Like the first question is, are there gonna be more utility for Krom? So I'm gonna start with that one. Yes. So apart from Krom being used for limit order as a service fee, we're gonna have a staking feature very soon. And what the staking feature will do is it will allow Krom holders to stake Krom, and they're gonna get a revenue share out of it. So it will have a value accrue mechanism where if the DEX is being used, Krom stakers will get a part of it. So that was the first question. The second question, and can you please repeat the first one?
Is there more plans to do buybacks, basically?
Yeah. Well, no. Like there are no plans to do buybacks. As I already mentioned, Krom was fair launched. What that means is that there were no VC funds. There were no funds like before, right? All those funds that we did buybacks were funds from a personal funds from the founders.
Right now.
Sorry, can we get?
You talk about your token, your Krom token. Like, how can we buy it if we want to buy it?
Yeah, I already mentioned like the Krom token is available only on Uniswap and only on DEXs. So if you want to anyone can buy it by going to Uniswap or by going to Kromatika, our swap aggregator, and they're gonna swap like any asset to Krom. However, Krom is not available on a centralized exchange. So it's not on Binance, on Coinbase, on KuCoin. It's not there yet. However, I think in the next 1 or 2 months, we have it in the pipeline for Q2. We're going to be listed on a DEX. We have a potential listing on Coinbase that we hope that going to take into effect, that Coinbase will list us. But it's not just that. We are working with other DEXs as well to get listed on other centralized exchange.
Thanks for answering my questions, sir. Maybe just last one question, right? You said that if you do staking, then the protocol revenues will be shared with the stakers. I just did a quick check on token terminal. I can't find Kromatika there. Can you just briefly explain to those who are ignorant like myself, what are the protocol fees again? That would be great. Thank you.
Yes, the protocol fees are kind of they're charged in two different ways. Like first, there are service fees that are being charged whenever a limit order is filled in. So this is a fee that everyone pays in whenever they want to get their limit order executed or filled. And this protocol fee or we're calling service fee varies. It varies on Ethereum L1. It varies on Arbitrum. It's variable depending on the network. It's pretty much depending on the underlying gas fees of the network. So this is one first aspect how the Krom staker will get a revenue share. However, that's not the only aspect of it.
Yeah, and that is paid in Krom, right? The service fee you're talking about, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
Right. Okay. That is paid in Krom. Yes. Now it comes to what other utility Krom will have. I already mentioned and touched base that there's going to be a gasless feature introduced. And this also gasless feature has something to do with Krom. I don't want to go into technical and into the future, but the gasless terms has a very different meaning. It can mean free transaction, which means you don't pay anything, or it can mean you don't need Ethereum to do transaction, but you can pay in any other token. On the layer 1, which means on the Ethereum network, we're gonna introduce a feature where the users don't need to hold Ethereum to do any swaps. They're gonna be paying all those transactions into Krom. This is an optional feature, but that means if you want to do a swap on Uniswap, you don't need Ethereum. You can just pay in Krom. And that's very interesting thing if you want to bootstrap very quickly. You don't have Ethereum, you just have a Krom, you transfer to another account, and you just do a swap from that account without even having Ethereum at all. So this is another utility of the Krom token that we're gonna be adding, and this is another utility that all Krom stakers will take advantage of.
Thank you so very much, man, for answering my questions. Appreciate it.
Yeah, welcome.
I think we have Samuel connecting. I think Samuel has a question. Samuel, are you there?
Yes, yes. I'm on the desk currently. I'm checking the features. I connected on Arbitrum, so it says that I should allow Kromatika Aggregator to use the magic on my wallet. So, and it's charging me some around $1.6. So I want to know if this charge is constant or it depends on the amount of magic in your wallet. Because I have around 122 or so.
Yeah, let's. In order to answer the question, this is a very standard approach on any DEX that you want to swap, right? So if you go to Uniswap, on a fresh wallet, and you want to sell a token, the first thing that Uniswap will give you is allow Uniswap to use your tokens, because you need to send to them, right? In order for them to sell it.
Yeah.
The same happens here.
Okay.
Yeah, so that is a fee that is always going to be there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is it constant, or is it no matter the amount of token you want to swap, or it varies based on the amount of token you have, or it is a constant something that doesn't change? Whatever we want to swap is same fee.
It's a transaction on the blockchain, so it will cost you gas. So that is not a constant number per se, but it shouldn't depend on the amount of magic or whatever asset you're holding.
Yes, that's called approval transaction. You're basically approving the asset to be used by the protocol up to the amount that you specify.
Okay. Yeah. I wonder if like adding features, wouldn't it be fine if you will also add bridge to that DEX?
How do you mean bridge to another DEX?
Like if you want to bridge from layer 1 to layer 2 or from another protocol, like it would be fun.
Yeah. Yes, that's a very good question, and I have a very good answer for it. That I'm gonna just touch base a little bit. The Krom token itself is actually we are using a third-party bridge, because the Krom token is available on 4 chains, where the dApp itself, the protocol, is only available on 3 chains. We are using a third-party bridge called Stellar. So if you're familiar with it, Stellar C bridge.
Okay.
Yeah. What that means is that the Krom token can be bridged between any of those 4 chains within minutes. Now, since Kromatika is partnered with a Stellar C bridge, we're gonna be working with them. We have already started, and that is the answer to your question. We're gonna be adding a cross-bridge swap feature. And I don't want to kind of spoil it a bit, but how it will work is very simple way. User will say,
Wow.
I want to swap Ethereum to USDC and transfer USDC to Binance. That's all in one transaction. That's the feature that will be in Kromatika. And we're going to be utilizing Seabridge, for that.
All right, it will be cool. I'm expecting that to happen soon.
Yeah. So it's like a swap and bridge transaction at once.
All right.
Cool. So just in the interest of time, Aristocrat, are you good on time?
Yeah, like I have time. No problem for me. Do we have any more questions?
Actually, I have one more follow-up. I mean, you answered my question earlier, and I thought about it, and I still not sure quite I get it. You said that, utility of the Chrome holders, obviously, when they stake it, they will get the service fee that will accrue to them because people are paying in Chrome, and the Chrome is dependent on the gas fees. And once they pay that, you're saying that the Chrome will go to the stakers of Chrome, right? But shouldn't the Chrome be paid to you guys because you guys are transacting to the miners essentially because they're transacting the swap in Uniswap, and that is why they have to pay the actual gas fees. So how can the service fee be accrued to two players, which is one, the block miners, which is basically making the swap happen, and second, the stakers of Chrome, right? So how can this be the utility be doubled in that sense? Do you understand my question?
Yes, and the thing is, the service fee that is paid in Chrome is composable. So it has a base fee, which actually goes to the miners, and it has a 10% on top of the base fee that is actually shared by the stakers. So the service fee already includes a 10% in it, which will be distributed to the stakers.
And this is 10% of gas fees, yeah, not 10% of the value, of course, right?
Yes. And 10% of the base fee that we need to pay for the swap, basically.
Gotcha. And these stakers will be all cross chain combined, or do you think will be isolated? So, for example, if I stake it in ETH and in Arbitrum, let's say if I stake it in Arbitrum, do I get the swap service fee in all three chains, or do you think whatever you stake, you will get it in that chain only?
Yes, on that chain only. So it's kind of per chain.
So essentially,
the user will kind of drive the Chrome where the most volume is, or the most service fees are.
Yep, makes sense. Okay, great. Yep, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Welcome.
All right, and Mac, did you have one more question? Maybe we can finish up this.
I'm just curious about how did you come about the name for our project Kromatika? The name is pretty cool, yeah, but I would like to know is there any details you can tell us?
Yes. The Kromatika is a little bit a word from automatic with a K instead of C. So it's a word playing that we are trying to automate a certain thing here. So instead of calling automatic, we are calling chromatic. And this is how the name has been born. So it has a little bit a word play from an automatic aspect of it. And this is an interesting thing. When we started, whenever on the web page we were using automatic with K instead of C, just to kind of a little bit force that name that chromatic refers to automatic. So this is how the name was.
Nice
kind
name,
of born.
you gotta say.
Yes.
All right. Well, I mean, you guys are still at like a $10 million fully diluted market cap, about 600 times smaller than Uniswap. So you got a lot of way to go.
Yeah, and that is kind of the problem, or I see with this fair launch project. Like we haven't started with any major, like with VC investors and so on. We had an idea. We just did it on hackathon. and we just launched. So no one came and say, well, we are giving you $100 for marketing, for budget, for VC, and so on, to kind of promote yourself. And that is kind of the problem, that the adoption itself needs to be from like spreading out from the people that are using the protocol. It will go slow, but I think we're gonna get to get there as long as we keep developing it.
Yeah, I mean, do you wanna, before we finish up, do you wanna just mention where people can find you and ask some more questions if they have any?
Yes. So we are using Discord so we have like a Discord channel. I'm not sure how I can share that, but we have like a Discord channel where most of the team communication is happening, and most of the technical and most of the questions are being answered. And we also use a Telegram. Personally, I'm not a fan of Telegram, but the team is also using a Telegram as well. So we have
I believe you guys have your links available on your link tree on your Twitter. So
yes.
if anyone is interested, please do go visit their Twitter page, and you'll see a link tree link, and that will take you to the Discord or Telegram, or actually a lot of different links there.
Yes. So if anyone wants to kind of find out more and reach out to us, like, I would suggest Discord and Telegram as a good channels to start with. And you're gonna be finding me there as well. I'm tending to communicate a lot, even though I should be focused on developing a lot. But that's the nature of building something.
Yeah, well, thanks for coming on, Aristocrat. This was a great chat we had with you, and a lot of questions answered. So thank you for that.
Yep, you're welcome. It was my pleasure, and hope people we have just clarified to the people what Kromatika is, and they can actually try it themselves.
Yeah, awesome. So guys, once again, if you guys are interested, please visit Kromatika Finance on their Twitter page, and then find the Discord and go from there. All right, thanks
everyone.
Thanks for joining.
Cheers. Bye.